Hi everyone, we're here today down in East Sussex in about 80 acres of private woodland, and we're here with Desert Rose Racing Academy and Sinnis Motorcycles. So Sinnis and Desert Rose Racing have partnered up to deliver the Sinnis Adventure Riding Academy. So if you've ever wanted to give adventure riding a go, or you used to do it in the past and haven't ridden for ages and you want to get back into it, then Sinnis and Desert Rose have set up the Sinnis Adventure Riding Academy to go through all the beginner and sort of basics of adventure riding and off-road riding, so you feel more confident when you're going off-road. So what bikes to use on the Adventure Riding Academy? This is the Sinnis Terrain 125. As the name suggests, it's a 125cc and it's a really accessible sort of little adventure bike. The seat height is really low. It's really easy to get flat footed, so it's sort of confidence inspiring. As it's a 125, there's no big scary power figures. Power delivery is really smooth, so when the surface you're on is a bit slippery, you're not going to have any big moments. You're not going to get the whiskey throttle. It's not going to get away from you. It's really easy to control. Clutch action's really light, so when you're off-roading you use a lot of clutch and you slip the clutch a lot, and that's really easy to use, and the overall package is just perfect to get into adventure riding. The brakes are also linked, being a 125cc model, so when things maybe get a bit out of hand and you slam on the brakes, you're not going to lock up the front too easy. It's linked and it's got that nice squatting sort of action to keep everything in control. So this bike is pretty much totally standard. The only things that have been taken off of this bike is the panniers, but there's actually a model that we've been riding. They've got the panniers on and that comes with the bike. But as you can see, it's got this sort of crash protection around it that comes standard with the Terrain 125. So again, really geared up for beginner riders, and when you inevitably drop your bike off-road, or if you're on a little mini adventure of your own, you're not going to damage too many things and you're going to have big breaking plastics and having a big repair bill. These are really sturdy and they'll get you out of trouble if you do end up dropping the bike. What have we been learning today? As I mentioned, it's a complete sort of beginner's course really, so even if you've never ever gone off-road before, you're going to start the day not knowing too much and end the day with a lot more confidence. So the starting point is really simple. It's pretty much learning how to get on and off the bike and getting acquainted with the weight of a bike. Obviously adventure bikes are a little bit heavier than some road bikes. This is actually really light, but if you've got maybe a bigger adventure bike at home, learning how to manage the bike, getting on and off it correctly, just feeling comfortable with the bike that's underneath you, and that's what you start with. Once you've learnt the basics of how to handle the weight of the bike when it's stationary, then it's time to look at your body positioning when you're actually on the bike. Go through a little trail to get acquainted with the bike, but then you actually go through, should you be sitting down, should you be standing up, elbow position, standing position, all that kind of stuff to give you a bit more confidence when things get a little bit slippery on the trails. After that, it's all about clutch control. As I already mentioned, so when you're riding off road, you use the clutch a lot more, you slip the clutch, you don't jerk the throttle too much. It's all about that clutch control. We go through that in depth, the instructors, and make you feel at home with a slow speed manoeuvre. So the idea being that you keep a constant slow speed and you've got that clutch control and you can feel where that power delivery is, and that can really help you when things get a little bit gnarly, a little bit rutty and all that kind of stuff. It just gives you more confidence to control that bike. Obviously it's all well and good being able to ride off road and get quicker and get a bit more confident, but obviously you need to stop as well. And with there being less grip, there's a slightly different braking technique to the what you'd use on road. So you go through that as well, and every section that you go through is bite size. So you ride for a little bit, stop, learn something else, be able to practice it, put it into practice, and then when you're off on your next ride, you're able to piece by piece get all these bits of information in, and it's not overwhelming. And as it's so bite-sized, you can then, when you go to your next ride, you're able to put it all together. It's amazing how, as you go through the day, your confidence builds and things start making sense, and they feel less alien, and actually it doesn't seem so scary when you're on the trails. And grip's not a premium like us road users are used to. So who leads the day? We've got expert instructors, Patsy, who's 4 times Dakar rider. She's the first lady to finish the Dakar back in 2006, and Harry Michael, who's a hard enduro specialist and a Red Bull Romaniacs finisher. So you're in safe hands, and the way they deliver instruction is really easy to understand. It's broken down in language that everyone can understand. And if some people are a bit quicker than putting into practice than others, or you feel a bit slower and you need a bit more one-to-one tuition, then the guys are really helpful. Come and show you the ropes, a bit more sort of personal tuition, and then when you get it, it's an amazing feeling that you've been able to nail a skill that actually at the beginning maybe you weren't too sure on. For people who are thinking of giving off-road a go, or maybe have got one of these types of bikes themselves and want to know how to use it off-road, then the Sinnis Adventure Academy is the perfect place to start, because it really is from beginner to when you leave the day, you're actually at a decent level to ride off-road, and you can comfortably tackle your local green lanes, for example, or even if you wanted to try an enduro day, you'd know where to start, you know the basics. So in terms of pricing, if you want to hire the kit, you want to hire the bike, it's £195, but actually if you're a Sinnis Terrain 125 owner, it's a little bit cheaper, it's £145, and you can bring your bike down and give it a go, and maybe you're thinking of going on a little adventure yourself, so it's the perfect place to start if you want to do that. So yeah, we've really enjoyed it. I really recommend giving it a go. Thanks for watching.